Somewhere in your storage, there is a recording from yesterday. By Monday, it will be a number on a scorecard in a conversation with the agent who took the call. Most people rarely see what happens in between. They meet this platform through a PDF that arrives on Monday or a dashboard somebody else already configured. That matters because you are being asked to act on a number you did not calculate. So here is the whole path, stage by stage, and where you sit in it. There are 5 stages: ingest, process, verify, review, report. Keep an eye on the third one because it is the stage most people assume does not exist. Stage 1 is ingest, and it is mostly a question of where your recordings already live. The platform is built to go to them rather than asking you to move anything. Amazon S3, Google Drive, Dropbox, Box, a Google Cloud bucket, Wasabi. You connect the source once and it gets scanned on a schedule you set. Or you upload a file by hand from inside the app with the metadata attached to it. That is the whole of stage 1. Stage 2 is process. This is where a recording stops being audio and starts being data. And it is worth slowing down on because everything downstream inherits what happens here. First, the call is transcribed. Then it is split into two channels so the agent and the customer are measured separately rather than as one blurred conversation. Then it is scored, and not only on the words, text sentiment, emotion from the audio itself, talk and silence ratios, dead air, and crosstalk. Emotion is the one worth noticing. It is read from the audio, not the transcript, because a polite sentence delivered badly still reads as polite in text. And then an overall score, weighted the way your workspace decides, not the way a vendor decided on your behalf, which matters when you have to defend the number later. Stage 3 is the one people do not expect, and it is the reason this is not simply automated scoring. Before a flag reaches a supervisor, a trained analyst opens the call and listens to the flag movement in the language it was actually spoken in. The documentation is direct about why that stage is there, which is a practical point, not a philosophical one. A false positive that reaches a coaching conversation costs more trust than the flag was ever worth. Stage 4 is review, and this is the part you will actually spend your time in. The dashboard carries the numbers for one workspace with the calls sitting underneath them. It has a walkthrough of its own, so here we will stay at the level of what it is for. Every number you see is scoped to a workspace and measured against the goal that workspace set. Nothing is an average across teams that were never comparable. Open a single call and the audio plays against the transcript, so a flag can be checked rather than taken on trust. And a comment left on a call stays with it, so the next person to open it can see why it was reviewed. Stage 5 is report, and there are two quite different ways to receive it, depending on how much of this you want to touch. A weekly QA report as a PDF in your inbox on Monday with nothing to log into, and the web application for teams who want to work the calls themselves. The same process data becomes agent scorecards, saved analytics charts you build once and keep, and the dashboard KPIs you just looked at. Agent performance is its own screen. Every agent gets a scorecard broken down by a parameter as well as overall. So a coaching conversation starts from evidence rather than an impression. Analytics is where you build the chart you actually care about across agents and flags and save it. Built once and it keeps answering the same question every week, which raises the question every contact center floor asks early, usually before anyone has asked about accuracy. Who can see what? An admin reaches everything. A user is scoped to the workspaces they were invited to. An agent sees only their own calls and their own performance. And an agent sees even that only if an admin grants it. Access to your own scorecard is something switched on deliberately, not something assumed. Masking sits at the workspace level too. Personal information can be stripped before a call is ever reviewed, which is usually the first thing a compliance team asks about. Underneath all of it sits the workspace, which is how one account holds more than one standard. Each carries its own goals, language, masking rules, and dead air threshold. So a collections floor and a support desk can sit on the same account and still be measured by rules that make sense for each of them. Integrations hold the connected sources and the schedule each one is scanned on. Set it once, and yesterday's calls are waiting for you without anybody uploading anything. And the sidebar is grouped the same way the work is, working with calls at the top, managing the setup in the middle, the account itself at the bottom. And the account section is the honest part of any platform. Wallet balance, minutes remaining, how many calls are still processing, and a daily ledger of what was spent. So when a number reaches you now, you can say where it came from, which stage produced it, which measures fed it, and which person checked it before it arrived. And that is the difference between a score you receive and a score you can defend. The heartbeat. We listen to every call so you don't have to.